Good day, everybody. It is, I don't know, December 27th, I think. It turned from snow and cold to rain. It's raining out here today, and I'm trying to get the last of the siding on this part of the house up in the rain. But it's cedar and it is sealed, so I'm not too concerned about it. The only thing is my tools in the rain. Hey, I wanted to talk today real quick about assets and the future and investing. Yeah, I know, I'm not a financial guru by any sense of the imagination, but what I've done is I've seen the writing on the wall. This is 2020. If you are coming in new and this is the first video you see, it's December 27th, 2020. I started building this project earlier this year, this spring, and I have lived off grid off and on over the years and trying to find that balance. Well, the COVID stuff really was the catalyst for getting this to this stage. This is the decision I've come to. Not having a whole lot of assets or capital, I focused on what I could do, and I needed a place to live. And maybe you are in a similar situation. If you don't have a place to live that's paid for, or that the payments are really low, or your financial situation is where you're basically paycheck to paycheck, it's something really important to consider. Where are you going to go? What are you going to do? Everything's up in the air. Are we getting a stimulus package or not? Some of us or you aren't going to get any of it. And it's not a whole lot to subsist off. What are you going to get? They're talking $600 on one. That got canceled and bumped up to $2,000. Trump said $2,000, per person. GOP, the Congress vetoed it, and we're back. It's a mess. It's a total mess, and that's not enough to do anything significant with. So, if you are out of work, if you don't know where you're going to be, where your money is coming from, now is the time, right now, in my opinion, to get some decisions made, get some clarity on what you want to do. And I'll tell you what, man, I have noticed this. If you are working a 9-to-5 job for somebody else for a paycheck, that you are anchored to that. There's not a whole lot of room on making it big, or making it to a point where you can get out quickly and set yourself up. It's very limited. Being employed by somebody, unless you're making buku bucks, we're talking six figures, it's very difficult to get yourself to a point where you're going to be financially stable or secure. I've been there. I've had jobs where I was making six figures for a brief amount of time in the tech industry many moons ago. And man, do I wish I would have spent the money a lot wiser than I did. But had a lot of fun and didn't have anything really to show for it later in life. Hence, doing this. So, yeah, tiny house. Looking at assets, looking at what's value, what's worth something. I've listened to a lot of financial podcasts and folks on the internet, and done my own research. And I've got some Bitcoin, not a whole lot. I've got some precious metals, not a whole lot. But I'm diversifying. I'm spreading through different avenues. Should one tank, the other ones most likely will not, or there'll still be something to work with there. And who knows? With Bitcoin where it is today, Bitcoin's gone up. I think right now today we're sitting at 26,400 and change, or somewhere in there. And if you bought in, I bought in a little bit at 6,000, a little bit maybe at 12 or 16,000 years ago when it had that big spike, and now it's doing pretty good. But I sat on it for years and was kind of concerned that I was going to just have a wash or lose a few bucks. Luckily, I'm not that big into it. Anyways, diversification seems to be where it's at. And hard assets. At the end of the day, you can't eat Bitcoin, you can't eat gold or silver, you can't eat Federal Reserve notes, and they may actually be worth next to nothing here pretty soon. They've lost 15%, 10 or 15%, don't quote me on that. I think it's 10% of their value since March of this year, the buying power. So the buying power of the US dollar is down 10% since March of this year. It was a Bloomberg article and a few others. are confirming that, what are you going to do? What am I going to do? You know, that's why this place to live. All right. How about something to drive to get yourself around? You know, a paid-for vehicle. This is a Suburban I've got that I'm working on. Runs great. Just doing a tune-up. No payments. Paid cash for it. Saved up my pennies. Did some wheeling and dealing. Same thing with that red truck back there. That little Toyota T100. I've had that for years. No bills. No payments. And they both run and they both work. And I've acquired the skills over the years, and what I don't know, I go and I research and I ask, or I go on YouTube to fix them or repair them and keep them going. And those are big things. That's an asset. Skill set, huge asset. No one can take that from you. It's up here, right? Intellectual knowledge and freedom. Getting back some sovereignty of yourself, not being so dependent on other people for your existence or your survival and your thrival. You know, that's another thing I'm trying to do here, is thrive. And I've gone through various stages. You know, Y2K, came back from overseas, working over there in the tech industry, not the military, but the tech industry after Y2K, and I was really freaked out about everything I saw with the fragility of the infrastructure in the financial system, and that prompted me to really get into being more independent. Then I went the opposite spectrum of working for the tech industry in 9 to 5, and I went and I bought property up in the mountains in Colorado, and I basically holed up and had a little cabin compound up there where I was growing my own food and living off the grid, yet not interacting much with society, not interacting much in the economy, lone wolf in it, and that didn't work either. And there's a balance to be had, I think. And I think that having flexibility, mobility, low payments or no payments on things, and having assets, being in the means of food or food production, a place to live, a place to maybe go obtain food, like food production, like a boat if you're near a waterway that has fish in it, a way to make money, cottage industry stuff, some gig economy stuff. It's not all just going back to the times of horse and buggy. I think we're in this weird hybrid area, and it's only going to get weirder. And that's my opinion. It's just going to get weirder. It's going to be this crazy kind of dystopian technology but technology emerged with or morphed with old world living and tools and existence. And you're going to have the haves who have a lot of the technology and want to have the power and lord that over the resources, and you're going to have the have-nots who are going back to a more simple, primitive existence. Which side are you going to be on? You know, how are you going to weather it? What's your move? Now's the time to make a decision, to make a move. It's actually, in my opinion, a little late coming into the game, but there's still food on the shelves. The dollar still has some buying power. People are still able to make some kind of a living. You got to get creative. Brick and mortar stores and that, I think, are on the way out. Everything seems to be online, digital, ordering stuff from warehouses, and going localized economy. Farmers markets. Don't go to a food bank unless you really have to. Don't be the person who goes to a food bank, right? Get out there and grow some food, even if it's a container garden. Learn how to do it, I think, is going to be pivotal and very, very necessary for maintaining any sort of comfort level. The more you can do for yourself, the more that you can obtain in your local community, goods, services, you know, some sort of commerce, food, transportation, any of that, the freer and more sovereign you're going to be. The less you're going to have to say, okay, I'll take a shot, or okay, I will do X, Y, or Z in order to get a stimulus check or some money so I can go feed myself and my family. That's a big part of this. What I'm doing is getting to a point where I have sovereignty, and I am the one calling the shots in my life and with my kids, not some government body, not a pile of rich people who are calling the shots because they're sitting on the dragon's hoard with the guns. I'm not talking about taking up arms or anything like that against anybody. I'm talking about freedom, personal freedom, being able to do for you and yours and your community. not lone wolfing it and holing up in the woods. I've done it twice, and both times I had to come back out. I had to come back out to society and to everything, and I actually got a 9-to-5 job and came back into the mix. Now we're in a new era, and coming back out into the mix may not be as easy or even possible in the near future. So I think that there's this delicate balance that I'm working towards, and diversification, spreading it out, and physical things. Can you provide those basic survival necessities? Can you keep yourself and your family warm and sheltered? Can you provide clean drinking water? Can you provide food? Can you provide a source of income that you are responsible for, that no one else is dictating to you or going to lay you off or tell you that you can't do it? That's a big one. Think outside the box. Think of what goods and services you can provide online. Think of all sorts of things. I mean, we collectively as humans are hugely creative, amazing individuals, and what we can accomplish is unlimited. Now's the time to break out of that norm, that old paradigm, the 9-to-5 paradigm, and the kids in school and getting brainwashed by TV. Those are my thoughts on it. That's a big push in doing this. So physical assets and skills, being able to have the skills necessary to maintain the stuff that you have, those physical assets, being able to work those physical assets. Sure, got a few bucks in Bitcoin. Why not? Let's see what it does. I think that mesh, that coming together, and that balance is moving into society a little bit, yet you're calling the shots, utilizing the things that make life easier and more readily available that modern society provides right now. Use them to your advantage to build those things up. That's what I'm doing with my stuff. And I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just saying this is what's working for me, these are my thoughts. Maybe you'll get some insight, maybe some motivation. Who knows? Let's see where this thing goes. But being able to take care of yourself and your family, if you have a family, is important. And aligning with good people, getting good relationships, that's another asset. Good relationships, good people, maintaining them, and working together. So for now, I just had to get that off my chest. I've been hearing a lot of news today and podcasts, and man, the doom and gloom and the holy crap, what are we going to do? We've got 3 weeks here before our next new president gets sworn into office, and the old president doesn't seem to really concede or want to go, and who knows what's going to be happening here. It's definitely interesting. I think 2021 is going to be even weirder. I think things are just going to get so out of the norm that the more you can take care of things on your end, the better off you're going to be. And if you can do that, the less dependent overall we are on the system, the less resources and control they're going to be able to assert over us. So anyways, all right, that's it for right now. Just had to get that off my chest. Now I'm going to go back and work in the rain and use my generator, which is powering my my chop saw, and learning how to cut beveled angles into cedar siding. So anyways, that's a skill I'm learning to make my house. Okay, ciao, bye.